everybody is saying the season, oh, it's Golden State. They're winning it. We don't need to watch the playoffs. But the East playoffs, and specifically the East, might be the best one in some years. Now, you might be, why am I saying that? Well, when was the last time we had 4 teams that can go to the finals and you wouldn't be surprised about it? I mean, if the Bucks makes the finals, you wouldn't be surprised. Why? They're the first in the East. They have the best player in the conference. If the Sixers make the NBA Finals, you're not going to be surprised. Well, they have 5 players who average over 17 points a game. That is an NBA record. And they also have a top 10 player in Joel Embiid and a 6'10 point guard. And 2 guys who can create their own shot in Tobias Harris and Jimmy Butler. Well, would you be surprised if the Raptors make it? Well, no. They've been good for a while. They have a good team up and down. They have a good bench. They have the best defensive player, probably, maybe, in the conference. You can argue Embiid and Giannis and Kawhi Leonard. And Kawhi Leonard is averaging his most points in his career. And you also have the Celtics. You know, the Celtics was daunted as the clear favorite coming out the East. Bill Simmons said they was going to win 67 games. Even though they didn't get close to that, they can still beat all these teams when they're on clicking, especially at home. Now, the consequences of these teams losing, if the Bucks lose, it's going to look kind of bad just because, well, they have the MVP. And he still can't win. And Giannis has never won a playoff series, so he has that, pressure on him. If the Celtics don't win, obviously it's going to be a failure. They were the clear-cut favorites. Now they're the 4th seed in the East. Tatum, Brown regress. Kyrie's not good for the system. Kyrie might leave if they don't go to the finals. It's a lot of stuff that can happen. And with the Gordon Hayward cap space, Gordon Hayward is getting paid $30 million a year to be trash, to be injured. I know he came off an injury and everything, but that doesn't discount the fact that he was trash. Not trash, but he was below average. He was coming off the bench for Marcus Smart. And Jaylen Brown got benched this season. Now, if the Sixers don't make it to the finals, it was all for no reason. Jimmy Butler can leave next year. They're already paying Tobias some money. Joel Embiid. They have to give Ben Simmons some money. It's a lot of stuff they did. They traded for 2 stars and they still can't get to the finals. That's a failure in my opinion. They even said it themselves. Ask anybody around the league, they'll give you a different answer of who's going to come out the East. Well, the Celtics can win. The Toronto can also win. Philly, Bucks. So there's really no wrong answer. And to be honest, I don't know who's coming out the East. I have the Bucks, but I wouldn't be surprised if they lose. That's why these series can get very competitive. And the East playoff series are always better than the West playoff series because the East play a different type of ball game than the West. The West is more pace and space, and it's more fast, and they shoot a lot of threes, and a lot of threes mean a lot of blowouts. The East is more defensively, and all these teams I just named are very good defensive teams, and they also don't shoot as many threes. Even though they also shoot the 3, they don't shoot as many threes. And they also have a rivalry with each other. Obviously, the Sixers and the Celtics, they have a rivalry built in themselves. Toronto has a lot to prove. Bucks are the newcomers. There was 8th seed last year, now they're 1st seed, so they have a lot to prove to show they're not just, posers. The biggest reason is no LeBron. NBA writers and NBA analysts try to say, well, this team might beat the Heat. This team might beat the Cavs, whatever team LeBron's on. They always say that, but it never happens. They try to force it, but it never happens. But it's literally no LeBron in each playoff. So the East is wide open. And I think these teams know this too. Now I expect these top 4 teams to win their first playoff series. The Celtics might go 5 or 6 games with the Pacers, but I think every other team should win handily. If they don't, there's going to be a lot of slander, period. And when LeBron wasn't, dominating the East, like pre-2011, the East playoffs was always a treat. Even when MJ was in the East, it was always a great playoff seeding. That's why people preferred the Eastern Conference over the Western Conference, even though the Western Conference is more superior, like with teams and players. Because the East is more grit and grind, and teams, I don't know, I feel like they hate each other. You know what I'm saying? So these 4 teams came into play, man. And it's not just these 4 teams. I feel like Brooklyn can make some noise against the Sixers. And I'm just saying that just because I'm a D'Lo fan and I want to see D'Lo do great in the playoffs. And I live in Detroit, so the Pistons is facing the Bucks. I expect the Bucks to sweep them or maybe 5 games. And the Pistons, I live in Detroit, so the Pistons are going back to the playoffs. Blake Griffin, first playoff series since he left Clippers or he got traded. So it's a lot of headlines and a lot of news in these Eastern Conference playoffs, and I'm excited. This playoff will be way better if Victor Oladipo didn't tear his ACL, because, man, they was cruising. The Pacers are still a 5th seed. They probably would have been a 4th seed if he didn't get injured. That would have been something else, man. Even the Orlando Magic, man, this is the first time they got to the playoffs since 2012, since Dwight Howard was on the team. That was a while ago. So they're the 7th seed, 6th seed Brooklyn, 5th seed Pacers, top 4. Are y'all ready, man? Playoffs start Saturday. I'll see y'all next time. I'm out. Peace.